All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know what time it is. If you don't have any coffee in hand, you better get some coffee in hand because it is time for Game Day Countdown with Mac and James, and we are live, baby. Before we get into today's video, do not forget to click the link in the description of this video, and you have a whole variety of tabs that you can click on. But one of my personal favorites is truevictory.com. They have a wide variety of t-shirts that you can pick. They have some awesome variations, and even if you want to rep your favorite team, that guess what, they got colors for that. Once you figured out what shirt you want to get, or hey, maybe you don't want a shirt, maybe you want a hoodie or accessories, but hey, at the end of the day, be sure to use code No Mercy Sports 15 for 15% off your entire purchase. All right, without any further ado, let's get into it.
Game Day Countdown with Mack and James. It's Game Day Countdown, round rise and shine. Mack and James with the sports talk line. Deep plays, bright lights, teams on the rise. From the first snap to the final drive. Big hits, big plays are the highlights. Countdown's on, it's football time. Game Day Countdown, Mack and James, let's go. Game Day Countdown with Mack and James.
All right, we are live, baby. We are live, and man, oh man, the games that happened yesterday, man, do we got to talk about it.
All right, so we can start with some of the regular teams that what is it? So first game is UNLV versus well, I think that's is that San Jose or San Juan? SJSU.
Oh, San Jose State.
There you go. I knew I was close. I knew it was close. UNLV took the dub. That's not really too surprising. I think most of us had UNLV winning that game. Next up, SMU going into Virginia and fucking spinning wheels on them bitches, man.
Oh yeah, they were,
like,
yeah,
3-7.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were doing things to Virginia, and man,
I mean, doesn't Genty play for SMU?
no, he plays for Boise State.
Okay, I don't. At the beginning of the season, I thought it was BYU, and then for some reason, I thought it was SMU and Boise State.
Yep.
Duly noted. Wake Forest goes into Miami, and Miami showed up. Now, again, the betting lines were so high on this that I didn't even bet on this game.
Yeah,
because last time Miami had a bet spread like this, they lost. So I was very worried. I didn't bet on this game at all, but Miami did come through 42-14, and
they did.
They beat the shit out of them. This for me was the biggest upset of the early games. Ole Miss going into Florida and getting beat 24-17.
Yep, that was
playoffs goodbye.
Oh yeah.
Playoffs goodbye.
Oh yeah, hell, even Alabama might be kissing the playoffs goodbye as well.
Nah. Nah. Hey, goodbye.
Yeah.
Listen, I said it. And a lot of people, I remember Andrew, I remember other people said, oh, this team, I mean, 2 losses, okay, maybe 3 losses. They're going to have 3 losses. This Alabama team is going to have 3 losses.
Yep.
This is not the same Nick Saban team. It's not, okay?
Absolutely.
This is still a very good, very talented football team, but Nick Saban ain't running this team.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, even for college game day yesterday, when they were making picks, I'm like, hey, St. Nick knows what he's talking about. And my wife looked at me with a crazy eye. She's like, oh, now you're calling him St. Nick? You hated him when he was coaching Alabama. I was like, yeah, because he was getting every player on the country to get to go to Alabama, And now that we have the NIL transfer portal, portal. Players want to go elsewhere and get paid for it. And he's like, that's it. I'm retiring because I can't get the good players and run college football. Like, okay, dude, settle down because other teams are actually doing good now because you're not getting the top players in the country. And on top of that, we're actually seeing a different side of you on college game day, and it's actually quite entertaining.
Yeah, no, for sure. Next game up, we have 24 Illinois going into Rutgers, and Rutgers made a game of this.
Oh, for
Rutgers
sure.
didn't lie down. Now, hold
Hmm.
on. Like, at the same time, though, Rutgers was the favorite,
Hmm.
okay, at the beginning of this match. I will say this. I will say this. By the fourth quarter, they were no longer the favorite.
Yeah, no,
But
I completely agree. Even when Illinois was driving down the field and they had the ball in their possession, it was like, yeah, they're getting a walk-off win.
and yeah, no, I mean, it was great to see. It was a good competitive game. All right, next up, Indiana going into Ohio State. Okay, I,
Hmm.
I will say this: the first quarter was competitive, but understanding that Ohio State is a second half team.
Yeah.
You look at
Well,
all
damn
the
near
games.
the first half was competitive.
I mean, so I'll say this: you remember they didn't score their second score until
Hmm.
literally the last under the last 2 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that first quarter, Walker had a fucking pick. They they got stopped on I think it was like on the third 3 yard line
Hmm.
and turnover on downs. Like it wasn't looking great in the first quarter. So
No, it was definitely looking competitive in the first quarter between those two teams.
yeah, well, no, I mean I'm not gonna. It looked like Indiana was gonna run away with it. The first
Yeah.
drive they marched. What was that? 80 yards down the goddamn field, scored a touchdown.
Hmm.
Saying, then
Yeah.
then turned around, right? Had the Ohio State Charger went all the way down the field, right? Then
Hmm.
turnover on downs, fucking
Hmm.
they march it all the way down the field, okay? That fucking turn around, wind up, okay, 3 and out, punting it. Fucking Ohio State marches down the fucking field again.
Yeah.
Then Walker intercepts him, and then you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Ohio State
Iowa,
did have
do something, do something.
But yeah, right here. Ohio State did have too much depth, and even on the pass rush, their lines were controlling the game.
Yeah, I will say this though, like this is for me probably one of the most lackluster years I've seen Ohio State as far as defensive linemen
Hmm.
because they literally they just have 4 defensive linemen
Yeah.
and these four you guys just go, you guys go,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's it. That's it. There's no stunts. There's no blitz. It's just straightforward
Yep.
pass. Whereas though, like I said, it's very lackluster. I mean, they did a great job yesterday,
Hmm.
but there's been games where they haven't done almost anything at all.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have to understand when you're throwing a tight end, you have 5 linemen, a tight end, a running back. You know what I mean? Like 4 guys every time. You're gonna only have 4 guys coming at a time. Like
Yep.
it's not hard to game plan. But like I said, yesterday they got the job done, and that's the only thing that matters.
Yes, sir. That is definitely one of the things that matter. This was definitely a big game for Ohio State, uh, and even Indiana. And this is a game that Indiana needed to show up. But the second that the second half got started, Ohio State found their rhythm. And yeah, but I mean, hell of a season put on from Indiana, though.
Yes, yes. Next up, we had UMass going into Georgia. They
Hmm.
got spanked,
Oh yeah.
and
I mean,
21-59. Now, don't get
I'm
me wrong. I would have liked to see a goose egg on here, but you know what I
mhm.
mean. Like, hey, look, 59-21. We know who ran this game.
Oh yeah. No, I was just surprised that UMass was able to put up 21 points and Georgia allowed them to put up 21 points.
Yeah, no, I mean for sure. I definitely surprised me a little bit at the end of the game when I saw the score. But I mean, I get it. I'm gonna assume that those are like fourth quarter touchdowns.
Yeah, more
For
than likely.
pretty much everybody. Next up, we had UTEP going into Tennessee. Now, this was an ass whipping.
It
56 to
was ass
0.
kicking as well.
56 to 0.
Mhm.
You say that's when that is utter domination from start
Yep.
to finish in all three phases of the game. That is beautiful.
Yeah, no, that was complete domination of the game, for Tennessee. Um, yeah, I really have nothing else to say. That 56 nothing shutout on UTEP, no surprise. But to answer this question, I don't think it was pretty late for UMass to put up 21. They did score early on in the first quarter, I believe, on their first possession.
Oh no, they scored. They scored a touchdown in the first, a touchdown in the second, and a touchdown in the third. The
Okay,
fourth
well,
is the only time they didn't score.
okay, there
Glad,
you have it.
glad we had to clear that up for everybody, so we all know. Because I'm be honest with you, I didn't watch that game. I don't know anybody who did watch that game besides Georgia fans. Because
Yeah.
I think we all knew who was going to win that game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I was just surprised that UMass was able to get 3 touchdowns, and yeah, but Georgia was like, "You're coming into our house? No, we're gonna make sure that you know who you're playing." But back to Tennessee, yes, this was a definite get right game for Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, it was time for them to be like, okay, well, you know what? Ole Miss got a loss. Alabama also got a loss, so we got to show that we're one of the SEC teams that can really hang, and we deserve a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah. Next up is Penn State going into Minnesota. Penn State got the win 26 to 25.
By the hair on their chinny chin chin.
When I tell you, it is so I would hope somehow that Minnesota could go to a bowl game because
Mm-hmm.
this team is good. This team is good. Like if they had like two, maybe three guys on this team, like I mean, 5-star fucking, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
absolutely talented guys. This team would be in the playoffs. This you go look at their record. Look at all the teams they've been bang for bang with all year. I'm about to pull up their schedule because they're
Yeah.
6-5. They're
Yeah.
6-5. All right. Boom, 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 boom.
I mean, yeah. In a way, I got to agree with that. Penn State should be ashamed of their win.
All right. So Minnesota beat Nebraska 13 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Eastern Michigan. All right. They lost to UNC. Okay. They lost to Northwestern 34 to 37.
Mm.
All right. They beat Louisiana 35 to 24.
Okay.
Michigan did beat them. Michigan beat them 50. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I am in the wrong. It says 23. What the fuck are you doing to me? I just realized lately I pulled it up their schedule and no, they're like, no, you have to scroll all the way down the page. I'm like, this is bullshit. Okay. So UNC versus Minnesota, it was 19 to 17. UNC got the win.
Yeah.
So again, within 2 points. Rhode Island go winning to Minnesota. They beat them 48 to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada against Minnesota 27 to nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Iowa beat them 31 to 14.
Yep.
Right. All right. Not so close. That one I'll give you.
Yeah.
Minnesota going into Michigan 24 to 27. 3 points.
Mm.
Okay. Minnesota beats USC 17 to 24.
Yep.
Right. Minnesota beats UCLA 21 to 17. Minnesota beats Maryland 48 to 23.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota beats ranked Illinois 25 to 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Minnesota loses to Rutgers 26 to 19.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Not a super close game, but still close. I mean, it's a competitive game. And now you have them Minnesota playing Penn State right? 25-26. Like, this is a good football team.
Yeah.
Are they perfect? Are they great? Are they one of the best? No. I'm not
No.
even calling them a playoff team. I'm not saying anything of the sort.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this team has played some really good, really competitive games this year.
Mhm.
And they've definitely played up to talent.
Yeah, and look, all it takes is basically like the, football movie with Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx, except it's any given Saturday, you know? Sometimes you're gonna show up, sometimes you're not. In this case, Minnesota really decided to show up and gives, Penn State a run for their money.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
and for
we'll
me,
see what happens come playoff time, though, for Penn State.
yeah, the biggest kick in the fucking nuts for me was Colorado.
Mm,
Colorado is now ranked, the
mhm.
juice, the everything. And am I wrong? Did Kansas not do this last week also? Did
I
Kansas not
believe
the
they
upset
did.
last week?
I believe so. Yep, they upset BYU, who was undefeated at the time.
So back-to-back weeks with Kansas. There's
Hmm.
something in the water. Test them, guys. I'm telling you, they're juicing. No, I'm just playing. Just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Test them for horse
No,
steroids or something.
when I tell you that again, you've seen a team come out play team ball in all phases of the game.
Hmm.
It's wonderful to see. They shut Colorado down.
They
That's,
did.
they did very well. Um, but yeah, that saying so, like I mean, Kansas, good on you, bud. Good on you.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I expect more from you, Dion. But listen. I'm still not mad, dude. He's fucking blown my expectations out of the way. You
Hmm.
you double the previous year before you got there's wins your first year. Now
Yeah.
you're essentially almost doubling that your second year.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, oh, if Dion sends the letter to grab my boy, my boy's going there,
Yeah.
hands down. We going to Colorado, motherfucker. We going to
Yeah.
Colorado. But all right, on to the next one. Another upset. BYU. Okay, number 14th ranked BYU
Hmm.
going into number 21 ranked Arizona State
Yes, sir.
and getting beat. Okay. Now, I mean, no, it wasn't ass whooping or any of that good, spiel. But this was like this was a knockdown, brawling game, and that's what it was. It was
Yeah.
back and forth for a little bit, but once Arizona put its knee on fucking BYU's throat, they had no
Hmm.
chance. It was over. It
Oh
was over.
yeah. Yeah,
Just
for
like
sure.
BYU's playoff hopes. They're
Oh
over.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
over. Back-to-back losses. Like I, I'm sorry. This is not a playoff caliber team. Like
No.
there's no playoff team. There's no top 10 team that I would want to watch them against. After
No.
watching them in the last 2 weeks, I don't
Hmm.
want to see them against top tier talent. Because if you're
Facts.
losing to mid level and low tier talent,
Hmm.
I don't want to see. No, no.
Yeah. No,
I
I agree.
I promise you, if South Carolina went against BYU, it would be 50 some fucking points
Oh, easily.
to probably 14.
Oh yeah, easily. It would basically be the same score that South Carolina put up on fucking Wofford.
Yep. I'm looking at that game now. Yep. Clemson beat Citadel fucking 51-14.
Yeah, Citadel, I believe if they have a basketball team, guys, just stick to that. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is you never know when you can start being competitive, especially with some of the smaller schools, because
Oh, yeah.
you could get a Tom Brady, you could get a fucking somebody who loves
Mm,
school.
I mean, Tom Brady did go to Michigan, so there's that.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Kentucky going into Texas. Uh, Texas, they got them.
Hmm.
They did what they were supposed to do.
Yep, they went in handling business, and it really wasn't any surprise that they did.
No, not at all. Not at all. Up next, Wolford is well. They traveled to South Carolina. I don't know. I don't know how fun it was for them but South Carolina got the win 12-56. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't even going to be a close game, but yeah.
um if
Dude, FCS is different from FBS. Obviously, Citadel didn't have enough money to recruit top talent to compete with Clemson. There's a difference.
yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, Wofford going into South Carolina, yeah, you knew it was going to be a blowout right from the get go. And yeah.
And, next up, we have Army going into Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, it was played in the Bronx, but yeah, I knew Notre Dame was going to win this. It wasn't even going to be close. Notre Dame did the exact same thing that they did with Navy, and they held Army to 14 points.
Yeah, I mean this is helping me get over that loss that
Yeah.
Notre Dame had. It is over, especially over the last few weeks. Like it's helped me get over it
Hmm.
because like it's again. I know Army was never gonna go to the fucking playoffs. Okay,
Well, no, they actually have a spot in the AAC championship against Tulane.
okay. I'm talking about the big college football playoff,
Oh, okay, yeah.
like the divisionals, like to for that's. I mean, yes, it's a win. Yes, you know what I mean. Like it's a championship of some sort, but it's not what we're all here for. We're all
Yeah,
here for the big boy trophy.
yeah, absolutely.
So them being out, it's kind of like there you go.
Hmm.
Number 12, Boise State getting the win over Wyoming. I mean, not great competition, which worries me a little bit, seeing it's only 17 points against Wyoming, and I've
Hmm.
seen multiple teams put up much higher scores.
Oh boy. Let's just save that for the fucking draft or for the chat because I trust a 3-loss SEC team more than I trust a military academy.
Okay. You telling me you think Army's going to beat Alabama?
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
I mean, in reality, Chris, is that a possibility? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Today,
Hell no, it ain't.
no, no. So until that day,
Yeah,
no, sir.
yeah.
We got number 25 ranked Washington State going into Oregon State and losing to Oregon
Hmm.
State. That was a nice little upset.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
But
I don't know.
speaking,
I don't know much about either one of those teams.
yeah, but
I know it was an
speaking,
upset, so I got it on the list.
yeah, for sure. But speaking of Alabama, why all of a sudden did Oklahoma decide to get their heads out of their asses when they've been getting their shit kicked in by other SEC teams?
I saved Alabama for last for that exact reason because I want to ask you that question. Well, I have a similar question I want to ask you. All right.
Oh my god.
So hold on. We only got two more games. Two more games. All right.
Yeah.
I 20 number 22 ranked Iowa State going into Utah and getting the job done. 31-28. They handled business. They did
Hmm.
exactly what they needed to do.
Yes, sir.
Next up, another upset. Okay, we had number 15th ranked Texas A&M, who was looking amazing this year, went
Hmm.
into Auburn, and Auburn said, "Talent matters.
Four
Talent
overtimes.
matters."
Four fucking overtimes.
And yeah, so Auburn to get the win, 43-41. Wow, that jaw
Hmm.
dropping. Just
Yeah.
nobody would have expected that. That is I mean, for me, this is essentially the biggest loss Texas A&M could have gotten because the
Hmm.
whole thing is, I think you, me, everybody, including the tree I got in
Yeah.
my backyard, thought that Texas A&M was going to win this fucking game.
No, for sure. But to see that Texas A&M loses on a dropped pass, like, man, you, sir, are going to be the most hated man at Texas A&M, and it's not even close.
Yeah. Game up is Alabama going into Oklahoma and only putting up 3 points,
Oh yeah.
losing to Oklahoma
Hmm.
24-3.
Yes,
The
sir.
Oklahoma looked in shambles for most of this year. They
Yeah.
looked like they were out of place, they were lost, they were scared, they didn't know what to do.
Hmm.
Let's keep it honest here. Like this has got to be the worst loss
Yeah.
I've seen Alabama take in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, just considering everything we know this year.
Yeah.
All right. Now, again, you could have went back any one of the last 5 years, and you could have said, "Hey, Alabama's going to lose to Oklahoma
Hmm.
3-24." Man, get the fuck out not on your motherfucking life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
seen it. So this is my question to you.
Mm.
Okay. Is this the result of coaching or is this just the result of losing Nick Saban?
I would say it's actually both. The coaching that we're seeing at Alabama currently is really showing like, bro, you're not bringing Alabama back to the pedestal that we all knew and hated. At least when Nick Saban was there, he was actually methodical. He was essentially Bill Belichick of college football, and he knew how to win games. He knew how to get it done, despite how close the games actually were and everything like that. But I mean, um, it was a while ago that I saw a difference between the office when Nick Saban was the head coach and now the current head coach that Alabama has. Um, yeah, and it really seemed as though Jalen Milrow was going to take a big step forward, but right now, the way that he's playing, I mean, it's like, damn, like, do you really deserve to be actually call yourself a draft pick? I mean, if you go into the right system of an NFL team, then yeah, sure. But right now, you can't afford to have your team have three losses, my man. As a result of Alabama players drinking the rat poison and hype happens all the time. That is twice that they have pulled that stunt this year. Yeah, they really should have taken it one game at a time and not look past their opponent. And obviously, this was one of those games. Like they get a big win against Georgia and almost get a come from behind loss, but to lose to Oklahoma in this kind of fashion when Oklahoma's getting their shit kicked in by other SEC teams, yeah, this is not a good look for Alabama.
All right.
I still
So,
trust them more in the playoffs though than I do Army.
so I want to move on to next week. I just want to highlight a few games for next week.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I'm technically cheating because I'm going ahead of everybody else. But at the same time, hey, we got up Sunday morning, so we're gonna run this real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first game that I'm highlighting is Oregon State going into Boise State. Okay.
Ooh.
I think this game can be super, super sneaky.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. This is a 5-16 that beat Washington State last week.
Yeah.
Um, they beat, hold on, who did they just beat? Boom. Like, because I was just looking at, yeah. So they beat Washington State.
Mhm.
Boom. They beat Colorado State.
Mhm.
Um, I just think this is a sneaky team.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
and for Oregon State to get the upset over Washington State is crazy.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like this looks like a sneaky team. They're 5-6. So
Mhm.
it's like they're just good enough that they're going to compete every game, but
Yeah.
they're just lacking enough talent to where if you have enough talented guys, you're going to smoke them.
Yeah.
And that's with Boise State because I guess they have Ashton Genty,
Mhm.
but outside of him, like I've seen it multiple times where they don't put up more than just 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. No,
And that's
I completely agree.
all right. The other one I'm highlighting is going to be Michigan and Ohio State.
Yep. The game.
This is the oldest rivalry in college football, I believe. Is
Yeah,
it not?
and hell, you can even make an argument for one of the greatest rivalries.
I mean, for me, the fact that I've known about this rivalry since I was a kid,
Yeah.
I've watched the 30 for 30. I've watched documentaries. I've watched
Mhm.
play and I've watched both sides. It's not like I just watched all the Ohio State stuff.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of the Michigan stuff too. So I understand both sides of this rivalry, and it runs deep.
Mhm.
I mean, and I understand it because it's similar to like the Ravens and the Steelers, who
Mhm.
fucking hate each other.
Yeah, like,
Game
they won't even neither team will even say the other team's name too.
So that being said, all right, that's going to be a great game. The
Mhm.
next game up is South Carolina at Clemson. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm taking South Carolina
Let's do
to
yeah.
ruin this
Hell
fucking
yeah.
game.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
I got them ruining this game.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have the battle for Arizona. Arizona
Mhm.
State playing Arizona.
Yeah.
Now, this not might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but again, this is Arizona playing Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, like it's an in-state rivalry. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
Um, next we have this is where I get scared for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Um, Notre Dame going into USC.
Nah, they'll be fine.
No. I'm not saying they're not going to win. I'm just saying if there's a possible time that they're going to get upset, it could very well be against USC,
They
and I
won't.
don't want to see that. I don't want to see no. Yeah, as long as they play the way they've been playing, as long as they stay one game at a time and continue to do that, it's the same thing. Foreshadowing. When you look past somebody,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you regret it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Um,
But yeah. I
Texas and Texas A&M.
ooh.
Like that's and again, Texas should win this game,
Mhm.
but Texas A&M, I mean, yes, they lost, but again, they didn't lose by 20. They
No.
lost by what 2 points. Okay,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean? It's one of these things where it's just like that's going to be a good fucking game.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, we got a battle of Texas, and this is definitely gonna be a good show.
And then the last one I have is Maryland playing Penn State. Um,
Ooh.
even though it's not truly a rivalry game, this game is always good. This game is always good. It, like, I don't know why.
Whatever helps your ego, dude.
So I mean it's just one of those things because it's Maryland and it's PA and it's
Mhm.
pretty close to each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a good little rivalry.
Oh, yeah. I will say this, I'm gonna throw the Iron Bowl in there as well, mostly because of Auburn's crazy ass win against Texas A&M last night. On top of that, Alabama losing to Oklahoma in the fashion that they did. So I'm expecting fireworks for the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, I don't. I think Alabama's gonna fucking murder Auburn. Just because like they don't want to lose to Auburn.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Simple answer to that: no, Vandy won't pull off the upset.
Over Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's the whole thing. I will say this about Vanderbilt. Okay, getting Pavier was probably one of the best decisions that they've made in a long time.
Yeah.
From somebody who doesn't know a whole lot about Vanderbilt football.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will
I
say that
mean,
what I've
the
seen, dude, that kid plays, and how many is he a senior?
he might be. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean,
Chris,
him coming into
Chris
but him
knows who I was talking to.
yeah, but him coming into the SEC and playing full time, like, man, way to get some upsets, dude, especially over Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I'm not going to count them out because of him. That defense can play stout when it wants to, too.
Oh
I
boy.
mean,
Well, let's just hope he's not another Cam Rising and decides, hey, you know what? I want to go back and play football again.
look though, he would be great for, and it's funny, he'd be great for a team like Tennessee. They get him in one of the late rounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little pickup. So
Yeah.
shoot, he could go right to your actual NFL team, and it's a possibility.
Oh man, we shall see what happens. But man, crazy days
Uh,
for college football. But we will be right back. We're going to take our first commercial break, but do not forget to catch Mac and myself as co-hosts on this show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Daddy can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me, checking me, but his game is kinda weak.
I'm a bad guy, the one you love to hate. Andrew Anderson spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast, like a punch right to your face. College sports villain, taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain, well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. Hard rock in my veins, rebellious to the core. I won't back down, won't take it anymore. The bad guy of the podcast world, that's me. Unleashing the truth, setting it all free. Unleashing the truth.
All right, we are back. We just got done discussing some college football. Now it is time to move on to what we want to see today. That is the NFL, baby.
Well, hold on. We'll do a quick recap of last week.
Okay.
Okay, so before we did the show, we already seen Thursday night football. We seen the Commanders against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders, they put up a fight, but Eagles were just ultimately they're too good of a team.
Yeah.
Like unless they make mistakes, you know what I mean. They're a hard team to beat.
Yeah.
Raiders, Dolphins. We both called the Dolphins to win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either one of us thought the Raiders were going to go into Miami.
Oh yeah.
Next up, it was the Browns going into the Saints. I told you I didn't want to touch this game,
Mm-hmm.
but I would take the over 40 points.
Oh yeah. Taysom Hill just doing Taysom Hill things and being the NFL's or New Orleans Saints Swiss Army knife and practically doing it all.
Yeah. So seeing the Browns get the loss was very, very nice.
Yeah, the another game from last week was the Colts putting the final nail in the coffin for the New York Jets. There,
I
yeah,
believe I called that upset. Did I not?
yeah.
I did.
Hell,
I
I
called
even
that
called it
upset.
too. Um, yeah.
Next up is the Vikings going
Mhm.
in and beating the Titans. I
Mhm.
mean, look, again, this is another pretty much final nail in the coffin. Their season is over.
Yep, just
Um,
focus on trying to get a high draft pick.
yes, and developing young players. Like, no offense, like, bro, any of my veterans, like, unless you're gonna go out here and ball out, like, homie, you're sitting on the bench.
Yeah. Hey, what a
Like,
weekend indeed, man, and we're just getting
Packers,
started.
yeah, Packers going into the Bears, and getting the win.
A
Okay,
fucking
and down
they
to
got
the
the win.
last second, the missed field goal.
No, well, the Packers got the win by a literal fucking fingertip.
Yeah, yeah, but again, this wow,
Yeah,
wow,
I mean, one thing Matt Eberflus should have done was like, "Hey, let's get in the middle of the field. We'll call it right there. We'll kick a field goal. We'll get the win." But instead, he had to be a dumbass, waste the clock, and you know, obviously, we saw the result of what happened. He got to go.
yeah. No, it was not good, not good.
Oh yeah.
Next up, we had the Jaguars going into Detroit to play the Lions. Lions
Mhm.
put up 52 on them. They covered the over. They covered the over. That was my big thing with this game. Well, a lot of my bets. I bet the over on this game,
Mhm.
and it went over. I'm
Oh
very
yeah.
happy. Um, Next up, we had the Rams going into the Patriots. I
Mhm.
believe we both called that.
Yep.
Um, I had a good feeling about the Rams. Their defense is good enough to where they're going to be able to compete. Their offense is
Yeah.
good enough to where, if they get going with all the weapons that Stafford has there,
Yeah.
I mean, the motor's gonna be running.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And the motor's definitely going to be running for Detroit because I wouldn't be surprised if they won the Super Bowl this year. Man, the like I said on my show Friday, since Dallas, the Lions have outscored their opponents 232 to 95. Now, granted, half of those games were close, but numbers don't lie.
yeah, no, for sure. What you call it? Next up, we have the Ravens going into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers,
Mhm.
and we lost 16-18.
Mm.
Biggest thing in this game was Justin Tucker missing 2 field goals.
Yep. But,
Um,
I believe he was using the field conditions as an excuse, but it's like, dude, Pittsburgh kicker went perfect 6 for 6. You
yeah.
you really don't have an excuse, my man.
Yeah, I mean, again, it all comes down to preparation. If you weren't getting good footing, then change your cleats, put longer spikes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's things you do, and as a football player, you know what I mean. Like change your plant foot cleat. Okay, it's not like you're wearing a set of cleats like everybody else. You have a kicking cleat, and then you know what I mean. You have your plant foot cleat.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. You missed it. You missed it. Okay,
Mhm.
you lost the game.
Yeah.
This is the first time that I can solely say that we lost because of Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
And it
And
sucks to say this, but again, we're a really good team. I know when it comes down to it, we're gonna finish this season leading the division, and we're gonna go and we're gonna make a nice playoff run.
yeah.
Uh, but on to the next game. Seahawks go in and beat the 49ers.
Yep.
Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think I no, you called the Seahawks. I called the 49ers last week.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy but not as crazy as the NFC West is right now. To even see the Arizona Cardinals sitting atop that division is the craziest part.
I mean, I called it. I called it. I called my shot, bro. I said that they were gonna have a good fucking year.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
All
And
right, next up,
the
we
Kyler
have the
Murray and Marvin
Broncos.
Harrison Jr. just insane.
Yeah. I mean, listen. You say Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm gonna say McBride. McBride.
Yeah,
That
he was
dude has had
basically.
multiple 8-catch games with over
Mhm.
100 yards as a fucking tight end. He looks like Mark Andrews did,
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple years ago, bro. Like,
Dude out here looking like, George Kittle 2.0.
all right, next up we have the Falcons going into Denver and getting decimated.
They got
Okay,
dog walk.
38-6. Okay,
Mhm.
like I knew the Broncos were gonna win this game.
Yeah.
Okay, we both agreed on that.
Mhm.
Um, but yes, um, this was masterful.
Yeah.
Good on to the Broncos. Like, it's getting neck and neck between the Commanders and the Broncos. I mean, I'm just saying, just for that, between me and Andrew, it's been exciting all year.
Yeah.
Um, okay, again, I called my shot. I told everybody that the Bills were gonna beat the Chiefs this week.
Mhm.
I said it. Over and over again. I told everybody. I said, bet on it, take it to the bet. Like I'm telling you, bet on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, what did they do? They beat them.
They fucking beat 'em. I mean, look, I'll say this much. It was good on the Bills to end the Kansas City Chiefs, perfect season. Now they don't have to have, that 500-pound gorilla on their back. Like, oh, can they get the perfect season and get the three-peat? Perfect season? I mean,
They
yeah,
was
that's out
drinking in
the.
Miami, baby. They was drinking in Miami. Not this year, bitch. Not
Hell
this
no.
year.
Hell no. I mean, look, right now the Chiefs should have more losses than their, record shows right now. I mean, they should have at least 4 or 5 losses on their, record.
Hey, look. I mean, again, every team has to crash back to reality at some
Yeah.
point. This is their point.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Next up, we had the Bengals going into LA to play the Chargers. I called the Bengals. I thought the Bengals were going to have enough to shut this game down,
Yep.
and they didn't. The Chargers pulled it off 34-27,
Yeah.
and it's just it was a good game. It was
It
a good
was.
game, but it's just like the Bengals defense. I
Mhm.
said this before the season started when they were like, "Oh, Bengals are going to be, they're going to win the division. They're going to be the best team in the division. They're going to go for a deep playoff run. They're going to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs." Bitch, they ain't making it to the playoffs.
Hell no.
I
Look,
told you. I told everybody with that defense, it's not going to happen.
yeah.
And essentially, they've just put the nail in the coffin.
Oh, yeah.
Their
I
season
mean,
is done.
oh yeah, no, they've got some big changes that they need to make this off season, and it definitely shows. They need to beef up that defense. They need to pay Jamar Chase like if they want to keep seeing a high explosive offense between the LSU boys of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Pay that fucking man. And on top of that, add some more offensive weapons. Right now, they should not be sitting at 4-7, especially with Joe Burrow having a freaking MVP like season right now.
Yeah. It's sad. Next up, we had the Texans going into Arlington to play the Cowboys, and they beat
Yep.
them 34-10. I called it. It was another game. It was just like you know how it was going to go, but
Yep.
it didn't go. It didn't go how I thought it was going to go.
No,
Okay,
just get out of
Mixon
here, Dallas.
Mixon carried that team. Okay,
Mhm.
Stroud didn't throw for not one touchdown. He had a bunch of passing yards, but he didn't throw for not one touchdown. It was Mixon.
Yep.
Man, give that man his flowers. I mean, literally, the Bengals should literally be crying right now because
Mhm.
of how bad they messed up letting him walk out the
Yes.
door.
Yes. No, they
All
really
right,
should.
on to this week. Okay, Thursday night football.
Mm.
Okay, one of
Playing
the
in a
premier
winter
battles,
wonderland.
one of the premier battles of the AFC North. No
Yep.
matter how bad the Browns look, any year they will always compete against the AFC North teams because we know each other very well.
Exactly.
Okay, on the Browns beat the Steelers
Yeah.
24-19 to get the huge upset.
Mhm.
Okay. And this is a huge upset for multiple reasons.
Yep.
Okay. Because we lost to the Browns.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the Steelers have lost to the Browns.
Yep.
Okay. The only thing that is saving our ass right now is we got a clean sweep of the Bengals.
Yeah.
And we get to play both of these teams at home.
Hmm.
Okay. So we play the Steelers again at home. We play the Browns again at home.
Yep.
So both of our games left in the division is at our house.
Mm.
So that's the upside that we have here. But the Steelers losing this game,
Mm.
okay, they still have to play the Bengals. They still have to play, you know what I mean? I think the Browns one more time.
Yeah.
So seeing this happen is like this is very enticing
Yeah.
because again, if you lose in the division, that those are huge marks away from playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
Like you can have a decent record, but because all those losses that you have are in division, and your division rival that has 2 games less than you has more division wins than you, well, that kind of creeps him up over you now, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yep, that was the big Thursday night football game. Browns
Crazy
getting a
game.
shocking win.
Yep.
Even
James Winston
though
out here basically
Jameis
being
Winston did
James
everything in his
Winston
power to
out here
lose.
being our truth and just being unintentionally funny. Like this dude is just like, yo.
All right. So the first game we have on the schedule today is the Titans going in to play the Texans.
Mm. Yeah, I'm taking the Texans. They're definitely riding that wave of momentum after their win over Dallas. And I say it continues, but hey, you never know. Maybe the Titans go on a win streak and they win the AFC South.
Okay, that's not going to happen. We are realistic over here. I'm
Yeah,
taking
no.
the Texans.
Texans
I
all day.
think it's going to be similar to how most of the Titans games have gone.
Hmm.
It's going to be like 28 to fucking 17, but 28 to 21, somewhere in that range. Like, don't get me wrong, the Titans will score eventually, but no, the Titans aren't winning this game.
No.
It'd just be shocking if that happened.
Yeah.
Um,
Maddie, look, have you been watching the Lions play this season? We're talking about this season right now. Like I said, they've outscored their opponents 232 to 95. Dan Campbell was on that 0-16 team, and he wants to make sure other teams feel that kind of pain. Just saying.
yeah, no. I mean, we'll get to the Lions. We'll get to the Lions.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we have. Okay. So Texans, I'm taking Stroud for 200 passing yards. I'm
Okay.
taking him for 1 touchdown, 1 passing touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm taking Mixon for 70 all-purpose yards and a touchdown. Okay. There's your 4-leg parlay for that game. All right.
Hell yeah.
So again, Stroud for 200 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. Mixon for 70 rushing and receiving yards and a touchdown. Boom.
But yeah, that is a good parlay to have. A real safe parlay as well, especially when you know that the Texans are playing today. Hey, go out there, get yourself some money, people.
All right. Next up is the Vikings going in to Chicago to play the Bears.
More than likely it's going to be snowing out there. But either way, I'm still going to take the Vikings in this. Unless Chicago can pull or not Chicago, unless Matt Eberflus can actually pull his head out of his ass and do some, make some decent play calling, Chicago might have a shot. Until then, I'm taking the Vikings.
Well, I guess I'm going to be the upset.
Mm,
I'm going to take the Bears.
okay.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to take the Bears. One is weather.
Yeah,
Okay. Bears play outside.
they do.
Okay. Minnesota don't.
They do not.
It might be cold outside of the stadiums and the facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But most of them got, man, I fucking hate the cold, bro. I'll be trying to run to get inside. Yes. Well, now guess what? Now you're going to play in the cold, in Chicago, in the wind. Bro, I'm taking the Bears. The Bears are going to run this motherfucking ball. Okay. Again, this is one of my games where I'm going to say, okay, defense is going to win this game. Okay,
Yeah.
you're going to see the Sam Darnold of old. Okay, he's going
Mm.
to have to try to force passes against this defense. Okay, which is a bad move when it's windy.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm telling you, because it's going to be cold and it's going to be windy. Okay, that ball is going to be like a rock.
Yep.
Somebody's going to tip that motherfucker, and it's going to get intercepted.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
And
uh,
look, I'll say this. Right now, it's going to be mid 40s in Chicago. Right now, I have the weather app pulled up, and it's saying like 40 to 45 degrees in Chicago. There's
what's the
a
wind?
good
What's the
majority.
wind?
Oh, good question. But I will
Okay.
say this: there's a good majority of players that are on the Chicago or that are on both Chicago and Minnesota that play in the South. Justin Jefferson, both Sam Darnold and Caleb Williams are from came from USC and everything like that. But right now, it does say temperature is 40 degrees, but right now it feels like it's 35. And the wind is 7 miles an hour.
Hmm. That's a nice little wind.
So
It's
we'll,
not
s-
it's not
we'll
super windy, but that's a nice little.
Oh yeah. No, it's definitely gonna have some of these players out there be like, "Why the fuck did this team draft me?"
So again, I think this is going to be a run the ball game.
Mhm.
I think yeah, Caleb Williams is going to have a decent game. He's
Mm.
not. I don't think he's going to have a great game. And guess
Yeah.
what? We're not betting on him, people. We're not betting on him. Okay, we're not betting on Caleb Williams.
No.
Okay,
I mean, look,
so
he did have a good game last week against the Packers, and it was definitely a step in the right direction of letting their offensive coordinator go. But right now, it's like, bro, if you can keep up this kind of consistency without Shane Waldron, then yeah, you, my good sir, are going to be a problem.
look, there's three things that we're going to bet on today. Okay, on the Bears versus the Vikings. Okay, we're going to take Swift. Oh no, my bad. It is a 4-leg parlay. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take Swift. Okay, for what is it? I think it's 70 all-purpose yards, rushing and receiving. All
Okay.
right,
I can see that.
we're going to take Aaron Jones, right, for 50 all-purpose yards.
Ooh, okay.
All right, we're going to turn around. We're going to take Swift for a touchdown, and then what is it? You're going to take uh, what was that? Fuck. Um, Addison for 2 catches.
Ooh, okay. Wow. Addison, nothing on Justin Jefferson?
No, no, no. Because I mean, so the betting lines that's where like when the betting lines have Justin Jefferson at 5 or more catches this year, he's only gotten 4.
Damn.
So I've noticed the trend. So with me, I feel much safer because Addison's going to get around 4 targets a game,
Okay.
and usually he catches 2 out of those, sometimes 3.
Hmm.
Only and of course there's been a time where he didn't catch any, and there's been a time where he only caught 1. Okay, but I'm banking on him to catch 2 catches today. He's going to catch 2 passes. Okay,
Oh,
I think they're going to throw either a slant pass or a screen pass to Addison.
mhm.
They do it a lot. I'm figuring he can catch 2 of them. I don't give a
Okay.
fuck how many yards he gets. I just need the catches.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
yeah, that's my 4-leg parlay. I would put in Jones to get a touchdown, but I'm just not confident in Sam Darnold against this defense. Again,
Mhm.
this is a defense that has planned for this game. This is a division rival. This
Yeah.
has been circled on the fucking calendar since the fucking summertime. Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, but yeah, I'm taking the Bears. Next up, we have the Cowboys going into Landover, Maryland to play the Redskins.
Mm. Redskins, not even close.
Um,
Jaden Daniels, have yourself a day.
I'm gonna call I'm gonna call the Redskins also, but I will say this: I think it's gonna be closer than you think. I think
Really?
it's probably gonna be around 7 points, 3 to 7 points.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Rush did not look bad last week.
Okay.
But between penalties, the lackluster defense, and some other things that he couldn't control completely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Cowboys are fucked in a lot of
Yeah. Oh,
spots.
they're
So
beyond fucked.
to blame it on just one person, you can't
Mhm.
really do that. And he's not looking too bad.
No.
He's looking to compete, and I can see that. I like seeing that.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I'm taking the Commanders. All right. So I will say this. So you I'm taking Robinson for 50 all-purpose yards. Okay.
Okay.
If he starts, I'll take him for 50 all-purpose yards. All right. I'm taking Eckler. I'm taking Eckler for 25 all-purpose yards.
Oh,
Okay,
he'll
that's
shatter
rushing and
that
receiving.
easily.
Okay, because I've seen like every time Robinson is out of a game or can't play, whatever, Eckler steps up to the plate, whether it's
Mhm.
rushing or receiving.
Oh, yeah.
So you're safe. This is a safe bet. Um, then I'm taking Jaden Daniels for 150 passing yards.
Easy.
Um, this defense doesn't scare me, and I
Yep.
don't think it scares him. I think he will be just fine. I think he would be just fine. All right, and then I'm taking what's his name?
Redskins or Cowboys?
Redskins.
Terry McLaurin?
The huh?
Terry?
No. I think it's Noah Brown. I'm taking Noah Brown for 2 receptions.
Okay.
Right. This guy has gotten 2 up to 6 receptions in a game.
Hmm.
Okay, like I like this guy. I think Jane Daniels likes this guy. He's been an often target, so I'm comfortable taking him for 2 catches. Okay, so
Alright.
that's Noah Brown for 2 catches. All right, that's Eckler for 25 all-purpose yards. That's Robinson for 50 all-purpose yards,
Hmm.
and that's Daniels for 150 passing yards.
Nice.
That's my four leg parlay, and I'm again taking the Redskins to win. Next up, we have the Patriots going in to Miami to play the Dolphins.
Mhm.
I think it's another week. It's a run back. It's a run back of what almost exactly what happened to the Raiders last week.
Ooh. Okay.
I
Yeah.
think it's going to be mildly competitive, and I think the Dolphins win by at least a touchdown.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I usually say, I'm gonna keep the Patriots as an upset in the back of my head, but with Tua back, yeah.
And Tua is back. Tua is
Mhm.
back. So and that's why I'm saying like this is going to be a dead like he's going to continue to get better. He feels like he hit his stride by the end of the last game.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to come in here. I feel like Tyreek is going to have a very good game. I
Mhm.
think they're going to throw the ball around. A-Chain is going to get in the end. Like this is going to be a great game. I'm taking the Dolphins. So
Yeah.
are you taking the Patriots or are you taking the Dolphins?
So right now, I'm gonna take the Dolphins, but like I said, I'm gonna keep the Patriots as an upset in the back of my head.
Okay. All right. So for this, I'm taking okay, Tyreek Hill for 80 all-purpose yards.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm taking Achan for 80 all-purpose yards. Right. I'm
Oh,
taking Tua for 200 yards, and then I'm taking Achan for a touchdown.
sounds good.
Those are my 4 picks again. So Achan for 80 yards. Fucking Tyreek Hill for 80 yards. Achan touchdown, and Tua 200 passing yards. So
That's a good parlay, people. You need to listen to this dude. He knows what he's talking about. Go get yourself some money.
yeah, I mean, a couple of these hit regularly.
Mhm.
When I do 4 and 5 pick parlays on a single game, because I'll place them every once in a while. I'll put $1 on it, and $1 will win me, 550 or something like that.
Yeah.
So like it's not a big win, but like I'll do it, and a lot of these will hit. It's just like you know what I mean. Unless you put some of them together, like you know what I mean. And that's what I do. I like to play long parlays, 25 leg parlays. I
Mhm.
like it spicy. But all right, next up on our schedule is the Chiefs going into Carolina to play the Panthers. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
sir.
that's
I'll let you
another
take this
game
one.
that people are gonna have their eyes on. I mean, hell, you even the Giants when they had Daniel Jones, who they also let go. Daniel Jones made the fucking Panthers and Bryce Young look like Bryce Young was back in his Alabama days.
Yeah, this is gonna be a dog poopy show. This is gonna be shit.
Yeah.
I mean, hot, steamy pile of shit. The Panthers and the Chiefs. Oh man, look, this is what I'll say. Okay, I'm taking Hopkins for 3 catches. Okay, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes for the least amount of passing yards it will. I think right now it's at 175. Take him for 175 passing yards. Um, I'll take Hunt for 40 rushing yards.
Hmm.
Um, and I'll take Chubb for 40 rushing yards.
Ooh, okay.
And that's it. I like this. This is a game that I'm going super low because
Mhm.
the whole thing is the consequence of it is if you bet even medium on this game and it turns to shit, then you lose.
Yeah.
So if you bet low, the worst thing that can happen is it's a fucking ball out, and you could have made so much more money going median than fucking just losing. Because
Yeah.
yeah, this is gonna be the Chiefs should blow them the fuck out. They
Oh, yeah.
should. Their defense and their offense, they should be able to blow them the fuck out. Like this is not a super competitive team.
Oh, yeah.
So if this is a super competitive game, or the Chiefs happen to lose this game, this is gonna be. Uh,
Oh, man.
But I'm
Yeah.
taking the Chiefs to win.
Oh,
Chiefs
yeah.
are going to win this game.
Yeah, if this ends up being a super competitive game, I will be seriously surprised.
All right. Next up is the Buccaneers going into New Jersey to play the New York Giants.
We got Tommy DeVito on the center, but
Mm.
unfortunately, DeVito, I don't think it's going to be your day. I believe Mike Evans is returning for the Buccaneers.
Now he
Um,
returned last week.
okay, yeah.
This
So,
this is his second week.
okay, yeah, with Mike Evans back in the lineup and back on the field, yeah, I'm taking the Bucks. I mean, Baker Mayfield doing everything in his power to keep the Bucks competitive right now, and it's paying off for him.
Actually, I think the Buccaneers had a off week last week. I think last week was their bye week. Yeah, I don't see
Oh,
him
shit.
nowhere on here.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe it was a bye week. Yeah, so maybe this is his first week back then. My apologies. But yeah, I'm taking the Bucks to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Mayfield for 150 passing yards. I think
Easy.
this is going to be a mediocre game as far as passing. I think this is mainly going to be a run the ball game for the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a run, pitch, and catch. I mean, you
Yeah.
got Bucky Irvin, you got Rashad White. They're
Mm-hmm.
probably both going to get over 10 touches of the football, whether it be through passing or rushing. Like both of these guys are going to get at least 10 looks a piece.
Oh yeah. No.
So
That.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think this is going to be a super competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what I mean. I think Danny DeVito might or Tommy DeVito,
Yeah.
Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito.
You had the veto right, just not the right one.
But yeah, I think you know what I mean. Like he might show some flash, and you know what I mean.
Mhm.
They might do well, but I don't think they're going to beat the Buccaneers. I don't.
No.
So
No.
yeah, I'm taking Baker Mayfield for 150 passing yards. I'm taking Mike Evans for 40 passing yards.
Mm.
I'm taking both Bucky Irving and Rashad White for 25 rushing and receiving yards.
Hmm. So I will say this: Mike Evans, I believe, since he came into the league, has had 1,000 yard seasons, and right now, the last I looked, I believe we are 10 games in with essentially 6, 7 games left to play, and Evans needs around 650 yards to have another 1,000 yard season. Think he gets it?
I don't see why he couldn't. I mean, as long as he hit it, like he continues to hit the average. So what would he need? He'd need between 50 and 80 yards the rest of the season.
Uh, 100, give or take.
How many games are left?
We are 10 weeks in, and we got
So it's
about
8
six,
games?
7 games left.
So okay. So you're talking and how many yards does he have right now?
Let's see. So last I saw, he needed about 650 for 1,000 yard season. Uh,
I mean, that's still doable. The whole thing is though, like I'll say this. If he finishes at 900, I'm not mad. I don't
mhm.
think he should be mad. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you were out for what, 3 games?
Mhm.
It's like, I mean, bro, like I mean, that's a shorter than regular season, and you almost hit your regular season goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's 1 game. It's not like it's 2 games. It's
Yeah.
it's 3 games. You was out for 3 fucking games, my man. Like,
Yeah. But right
and you
now,
injured for half a game.
oh
So
yeah. But right now, Evans is currently sitting at 335 yards on the season.
okay. I mean, he was definitely on pace to hit,
Yeah. So
but not
this is
having
Mike
Godwin,
Evans.
yeah,
This
not
is Mike
having
Evans,
Godwin
and
is
I
going to
think
give
he
him more.
can do it.
Yeah, I think he can do it. And not having Godwin is definitely he's going to get more touches
Oh,
because
for sure.
just think of this: he's faster than Otten. He's going to get
Mhm.
more wide open than Otten.
Mhm.
So think of all the extra yards that he's going to accumulate now that he's back on the field.
Yeah.
So I mean, and don't get me wrong, Otten has been great, and I think they're going to continue to give him the ball also. But now, instead of having to throw it to Sterling or throw it to one of the other guys,
Yep.
you're going to be able to throw it to a top tier talent in Mike Evans.
Mhm. Yeah,
Now, is Mike
absolutely.
Evans going to be able to burn you over the fucking middle and burn you? You know what I mean? Not all the time. A few
No.
times a game, he'll be able to get up to full speed,
Yeah.
but for the most part, he's going to help you move the chains. He's going to
Yeah.
get open. He's going to find the soft spots.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very smart wide receiver. I think he can do it, especially with the circumstances he's now in, where
Mhm.
Baker has still won without him and
Mhm.
without Godwin. So knowing that, I again, Buccaneers get the win.
Mhm.
You guys heard my bet line. Um,
A
next up,
real
we
good bet
have
line too.
the Detroit Lions going in to play the Colts.
Yep.
I think if there's a trap game, it could be this one this week.
Hmm. Interesting.
And I will say this. I will say this, and this is why I say this, right? Detroit Lions have a problem with running quarterbacks.
Hmm.
And and then it's not just that, it's also um Richardson can throw fucking 80 yards down the goddamn field.
Mhm.
Okay. Having that ability, okay, and makes him super dangerous.
Yeah.
Super dangerous. Now he runs the ball, which is bad for their defense, and
Mhm.
then super dangerous because he can chuck the fucking ball 80 yards.
Yeah.
All right. So being that, if they played boot play action, boot play action, boot play action, boot play action, you know what I mean? And they stayed in the gun and they ran a triple option, like they could fuck this defense up.
Yeah.
Like by the halftime, these motherfuckers would be gassed. They would feel like they are ready to go to sleep. All right.
Hmm.
Now that being said, the Colts coaching, I don't know if they're good enough to realize that. Because I mean, I get they're probably looking at the Lions like this is a giant, this is a mega star, this is, and they are. Don't get me wrong, the Lions have earned every bit of everything, all the accolades they're getting.
Mhm. No, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
um, but that being said, this is a dangerous game. I'm still taking the Lions to win because I think it will be. I think it's going to be like 34-35.
Mhm.
I think this is going to be a bang bang game. I think that it comes down to the fourth quarter. I think Anthony Richardson makes this game competitive. Um, I'm taking this is probably the hardest one. I'm taking Goff for 150 passing yards and a touchdown.
Okay.
Okay. I'm taking Gibson for 60 all purpose yards. And I'm taking fucking Montgomery for 40 all purpose yards. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
But yeah, so golf for 150 to 175 passing yards, whichever's the lowest one you can pick.
Yeah.
Take it for one passing touchdown. Gibson is going to get 60 all-purpose yards. Bless you.
Oh,
Take Montgomery for 40 all-purpose yards.
hmm,
That's my
interesting.
4-pick parlay for that game.
All right,
Next
cool.
up, we have the Broncos going in to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. This is a divisional game, and I'm going to say the Broncos flex their muscles again and get the win.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I'll agree with that.
I'm liking Bo Nix. I'm liking at the
Same.
beginning of the season. I didn't like him very much. I
Yeah.
thought it was like Sean Payton and Bo Nix were going to eat shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And it wasn't. It was completely Peyton did. He needed a quarterback that could run his system, apparently, and that's what it looks like. So maybe it was ringing true. Maybe Russell Wilson just wasn't the quarterback he thought he needed.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm taking the Broncos to win. What say you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking the Broncos as well. Bo Nix been playing some unbelievable football, especially with the fact that the Broncos are 6-5 right now. Seems as though Nix is fitting into Sean Payton's system pretty well, and obviously it's showing with the Broncos having a winning record and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ride with the Broncos.
Yeah. All right. So my 4-pick parlay for this game. Okay, I'm taking Bo Nix. Okay, for 150 passing yards. Right. I'm taking Williams, okay, the running back Williams for 40 all-purpose yards,
Okay.
right? And that's actually a really good parlay pick because it boosts the parlay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm taking Sutton for 3 catches,
Okay.
and then I'm going to take what is the running back? It's not Madison anymore. It's uh,
For who?
Abdullah something for the Raiders.
Let's see
I'm
here.
taking him. I'm taking him for 25 rushing yards.
Okay.
So I think he can get at least 25 rushing yards throughout this entire game.
Hmm.
Because I mean, he's going to get 10 to 15 rushes. So
Right.
I'm sure he's not just going to lose yards and lose yards. You know what I mean? So getting him 25 yards, I think is like minus 200. So
Okay.
adding these 4 picks together with the Williams pick, which is I think minus 100, you
Okay.
start and then the Bo Nix one, which is probably minus 600 or minus 500.
Yeah.
And then uh, I think this is a really good parlay, and like I said, I think Sutton's catches is like minus 600. So altogether, I think this is probably like plus 100 and something, 200.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not bad. Like I
No,
said,
not bad at
you can
all.
add some of these together, whichever ones you like. I'm just giving you my best picks, what I think is going to hit on this game, and
Yeah,
it's going to give you a 4-leg parlay. Put a couple of these together, and you know what I mean. You got a 12, 13-leg parlay you can play and go from there.
for sure.
Next up, we have the Cardinals going into Seattle to play the
Oof.
Seahawks. I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'll take the Cardinals as well. I mean, the connection with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner, Trey McBride. Ultimately, I think the Cardinals just have more firepower than the Seahawks do.
Well, I don't know about firepower because the Seahawks have Metcalf, they have Smith Najabu,
Yeah,
they have
Kenneth Walker.
and what's the other wide receivers? Lockett. They have Tyler
Yeah,
Lockett, who,
mm,
who can be sneaky as hell anytime.
yeah,
So I mean, they have offensive power. It's just it comes down to how you play in division, and the
yeah.
Cardinals seem like this has been the Cardinals' year. So
Hmm.
I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Cardinals as well. Honestly with the offensive firepower that both teams have, I'm really expecting a shootout in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be both teams will score 20 points.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that for sure. But I'm taking the Cardinals just because they've played better football this year.
yeah,
My 4-pick parlay, I'm taking Kyler Murray for 150 passing yards. I'm taking McBride for 4 catches. I'm taking Connor for 50 all-purpose yards, and I'm going to take Harrison for 3 catches. That's
Easy.
my 4-pick parlay.
Hey,
Not exactly. The only thing I worry about is the 3 catches for Harrison Jr.
right.
That's what I worry about. But you can actually switch it and do 4 catches for Smith Najabe or
Yeah.
Najabu, however you say his last
What
name.
Jackson
Dude,
Smith.
I mean, dude, he's been so clutch this year. I got him on
Mhm.
fantasy football last year. I got him on fantasy football this year. He has been one of my most clutch wide receivers. So I get like, dude, he's balling.
It's
All right,
fucking
next up we have the
Irish.
49ers going into Green Bay. Now, knowing that Purdy will not be playing in this game,
Yeah,
I'm taking the Packers.
same.
Like that is the only reason I'm taking the Packers. If Purdy was playing this game, I'm taking the 49ers to beat the Packers. The Packers have been too inconsistent for me this year for
Yeah.
me to full ride. Okay, now again, because this is not the same 49ers team in the first place, then on top of that, the Packers have been playing just good enough to win. I'm taking the Packers here,
Yeah.
right?
No, I'm
So
definitely taking the Packers as well.
I will say this: I feel like McCaffrey's going to still have a game.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm taking McCaffrey for 70 all-purpose yards.
Yep.
Okay, I'm taking Love for 175 passing yards. Right, I'm taking Josh Jacobs
Mhm.
for 50 all-purpose yards.
Yep.
Okay, and then what is it? Jalen is it Jalen? No, is it Jordan or Jalen Reed? The wide
For
receiver from
the
Green Bay. The Reed from Green Bay, the wide receiver. Okay. You're gonna
let's
take
see.
him for 3 catches. Okay. That's your 4th pick parlay here. So McCaffrey
Jaden.
70 all-purpose yards. Love 175 passing yards. You're gonna take Jacobs for 50 all-purpose yards, and then you're gonna take Reed for 3 catches.
Sounds good.
I think that's a lock parlay right there.
Oh, for sure.
Um, next up, we have for Sunday night football, we have the Eagles going into LA to play the Rams.
Mhm.
I'm going to take the Eagles here. I think this is a super competitive game. I think, again, it's going to be probably around a 3-point game,
Yeah.
like
It really wouldn't
24 to
surprise me.
27, but I think the Eagles get it done.
Yeah. No, I think the Eagles get it done as well. Right now, the football that they've been playing over the last few games has just been lights out. Saquon Barkley looking like he's back in it, looking like he's back at Penn State. The coming up with the most crazy ass moves I've seen him make, especially hurdling, doing a 180 hurdle over a freaking dude a few weeks ago. But yeah, Eagles. And yeah, I think it will be a super competitive game. Matthew Stafford, he knows what he's doing. He's got some weapons to work with. So, but yeah, Eagles.
Yeah. So my 4-pick parlay for this game, I'm taking Saquon Barkley for 70 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
Right. I'm taking Saquon Barkley for a touchdown.
Okay.
All right. I'm taking Matthew Stafford for 175 passing yards. And I'm taking what is it? Uh Kyron Williams
Hmm.
for 50 all-purpose yards.
Okay.
So that's a super safe parlay. Yeah, it's probably one of my safer ones. It's probably like minus 200. So it's not even in the plus territory. Um, and then the last game of the week, Monday Night Football.
Yes,
We
sir.
have the Ravens going into LA to play the Chargers.
Hmm.
So this is obviously my team.
Yep.
I'm taking the Ravens to win this game. The Ravens have to win this game. This is a big statement. This is the Harbaugh Bowl. Like this is, fortunately, my coach has not lost to his little brother in the NFL.
For
So
sure.
that being said, as coaches, so that being said, I'm taking us to win. I think Derrick Henry has himself a day,
Mhm.
especially if Khalil Mack isn't playing.
Yeah.
Um, it's like Joey Bosa is going to be on one side, no problem. Run the ball the other way.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I mean, clearly Munkin didn't get the memo last week, so maybe he gets the memo this week. Like it was crazy how we would not block Joey T.J. Watt, how we sat there and ran against the grain.
Yep.
Right, you can see the defensive linemen sitting and pulling and riding the line, and
Mhm.
yet you run right towards them. Like I think we get this fixed this week. I think this is a big game. I think Derrick Henry is going to have 80 all-purpose yards. I'm taking Derrick Henry for a touchdown. I'm taking Lamar Jackson for 150 passing yards, and I'm taking Lamar Jackson for a passing touchdown.
Hmm.
That's my 4-pick parlay.
Yeah, and that sounds like a great 4-pick parlay. I will say this is definitely a bounce back game that Baltimore should definitely win, especially with the fact that it's a hard bowl. And if big what if if Justin Tucker misses it and wants to blame the field conditions, like bro, you have no excuse whatsoever because you're playing indoors, you're playing on turf. You better find you better find the freaking upright.
Yes, absolutely. And it's oh
Yeah, but this is definitely a bounce back game that Baltimore should win. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Baltimore.
all right. So just because it's all this football is going to happen before next Sunday. I just want to hit these couple games. Uh, you know, Thanksgiving, the Bears are going to play the Lions.
Yep.
That's it's going to be a good game, but the Lions should win that game.
Oh yeah.
The
And
Giants are going to play the Cowboys.
Cowboys have the chance to
This
do the
is going to
funniest
be a good
thing.
game. This is
Ca-
going to be a good game. If
the Cowboys
DeVito
have
can
the
win
chance to do
any
the
fucking
funniest
game,
thing ever and bring in Daniel Jones.
and that's fine. That's fine. Let's do 10. Come on, David. This is your time, brother. Playing this game on Thanksgiving, you make a name for yourself.
Yes,
You make a
sir.
name for
Go
yourself.
out there,
You
Tommy Cutlets. Have yourself a fucking day.
there you go. Okay, and then for Thanksgiving evening, the Dolphins are playing the Packers. That might be an exciting game. That might be
Oh,
an
for sure.
exciting game.
For sure.
Um, then you have Friday. So Black Friday football on Amazon, um, streameast.gd, how you watch everything for free. Just my little plug. Again, yeah, it's Raiders, Chiefs. Chiefs are going to win this game. Chiefs are
Yeah.
going to win this game. Like they have to win this game.
Oh,
They're
for
at
sure.
home. Like they should have like just because of the ass whipping that they took last year, they should be looking for blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And I think the Panthers playing the Panthers is just the tune up they need to get that motherfucking confidence back.
Yep.
And then they come in and play the Raiders and do the same goddamn thing to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be back on the upward trajectory.
Oh yeah, for
Now, I
sure.
mean, technically, record wise, they're still the best team in football.
Yeah.
But, okay, again, this is a division game, so it can be competitive, and that's the funny thing about it. The Chiefs shouldn't make it competitive at all. They should steamroll them. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it all plays out, and we'll talk about it next week on the show.
Yeah. Yes, we will.
But that's
We got
pretty
some
much all I have for the show. Any chance that you downloaded the parlay I sent to the chat yesterday?
shit.
If not, it's cool. It's
All
cool
right.
because that's why I do my same game parlays all the way down. So anytime you can pause it and replay it and get you can go down the whole line and get all my picks.
All right, for sure.
But anyway, that's all I have for today. I mean, it's great being here. Great talking to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys
Mhm.
make some money off my picks, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Enjoy your Sunday, my man.
All right, brother, man. Peace.
Peace. All right, so another day, another Sunday, another episode of Game Day Countdown with Mac and James is in the books. You already heard the parlays that Big Mac is putting out there. Go out there and get yourself some money, all right? Now, later today, be sure to tune in to Football Frame of Mindset later tonight. Man, the hosts of that show, they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing, and it's going to be an awesome day. And don't forget to tune in Monday, aka tomorrow, for Legends of the Squared Circle, where we are going to be talking about some things and some history of the WWE. The two topics we are going to be talking about are the top 5 finishers in WWE and the top 5 WWE video games. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a blast, and we're all going to have a good time. Until then, enjoy your Sunday. Have fun watching some football. Again, tune into Football Frame of Mindset later today and go get yourself some money. Peace